Ross George. We got 3 6-3s all in a row. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? Alright, welcome aboard everybody. I'll be starting up the stream just now. Thanks for joining me. How you doing? Hope you had a great Valentine's Day. We're going to start a fantasy draft, or not a fantasy draft, a live draft for my Madden 20 franchise, where I have taken over a horrendous team that was 2-14, worst team in the NFL, and turned it into a 10-6 playoff team. So Coach Hennessy has been extended. He's coming back for another year. We've already gone through free agency in the last episode. We didn't really do much. I wasn't looking to break the bank, bringing in starters. I just was looking for depth where I needed it, get some quality players, some veterans to help my rookies out. So we signed Bernard Jordan to a one-year deal to help out at right outside linebacker. We needed a big bruiser back. I have enough speedy, shifty backs, but I don't have that strong runner for the short yardage goal line runs, so we brought in Lee Kemp. I need some big blocker tight ends. I had a bunch of possession receiver tight ends that didn't block well for me, so I wanted to make sure I got a solid tight end who can block, and that's Kiefer Sanders. And then we'll see what I can find in the draft. And then I need just a solid veteran backup middle linebacker to play behind the phenomenal rookie sensation, London Bates, who was Defensive Player of the Year, Linebacker of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, just having a phenomenal season for me. So I needed somebody to back up because we're changing the number 2 linebacker to an outside linebacker because we're moving from a 3-4 to a 4-3. So with that all out of the way, I've gone over the draft, gone over my scouting. I have my targets of what I think I need. I need another corner to play opposite of my phenomenal, and I use that word again, starting corner, Pro Bowl cornerback, superstar cornerback, Aaron Kershaw. Problem is, he's the only talent I have at defensive back for corners anyway. I have some decent safeties, but he needs some help on the other side of the football. I need some linebacker depth. I need speed at wide receiver. I have a big-time possession guy who makes a lot of good plays for me, but I don't have anybody to stretch the defense deep. So I need speed. I need a playmaker tight end. I need blocking tight ends. So I'm going to have to see what I can find there. And then I'm just looking for depth across the offensive line and just depth to fill in later in the draft. So that's my theory. We'll see how it goes. I want to welcome you all here. If you're saying hello in the chat, I have an overlay that should be telling me this. So if you say hello or follow or anything, it should show up on my screen. I'm looking. I don't see anything yet, but anyway, that's a new addition to my channel. I didn't have that this morning, so I added it. So let's go into the draft, and let's see what's going to go on. I'm going to take a look at my draft board. Let's go ahead and pause the draft real quick. Who am I looking at? Well, I'm not going to be... I have the 4th round pick due to a trade from last year before I took over as coach. So, I don't need any of these positions here, but I am looking at a cornerback who is off the charts as, a physical specimen, has good coverage skills. I think he's going to go a lot earlier than projected, so I'm probably going to take him early. Who else am I looking at? Any safeties? Not really. Left out line linebacker. I'm looking at him. Clayton Graham. No middle linebackers. No D tackles. Defensive end. I think I'm looking at... Who am I looking at? Felix Sander. Right tackle, there was Holloman that I scouted because of the insane, the lineman cheese that you can do. Look for a high combine, low in the draft, and that's generally going to be a good offensive lineman. Jeremiah Springs I was pretty pleased with. Nobody else here. Tight end, nobody I'm really looking for. Just if I can find a blocker late. I'm interested in Spellman and Bradley. I'm interested in Tomlinson just because I need a faster fullback to lead block. I'm not really interested in adding another running back, but if Posey should fall to me, a first-round talent in the 4th round, I will take him. And there's no real quarterbacks I'm looking for, so that's what we're going to do here. And we're going to go ahead and start the draft. So... welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy Madden franchise. I try to keep it realistic as possible. That's why I didn't go nuts in free agency and just sign all the top talents. You're going to see I'm in year 2035. That's because I've done something with the league where I've gotten all of the current NFL players out of the way. I relocated the entire AFC to different locations so I could have some unique uniforms. And then I decided that I would become the head coach of whatever was the worst team in the game. That ended up being the Miami Dolphins, who relocated to Orlando, Florida. The most wins they've had in any season is 5. 5. In any season from 2020 until 2034, when Shaq Hennessy took over. So the Lions are the worst team in the game. They have the first pick in the draft. Let's see where they go. I might just go ahead and hurry this up, because they have, well, they only have 2 minutes. Let's see where they go. And they took Antoine Gatewood, the middle linebacker. He was one of the top-rated guys. I think he was the number 1 on the draft board, so no surprise there. Carolina Panthers are on the clock. And I'll probably let this first round draw out, and then I'll start skipping. So they take strong safety Jerome Jackson, who was by far and away the top-rated safety in the draft. This was a really poor safety draft. There was hardly anything at free safety at all. The top-rated free safeties were in the 6th round. Jerome Jackson was the number 1 rated strong safety. There goes left end Ethan Tanney, and now we're on the clock. So I already explained earlier what my idea here was. I really need a playmaking corner. You can't always find those in the draft, but I mean, my goodness. I'm looking at this guy. He's a man-to-man corner. I know I run a slot in this defense. That doesn't really make much difference to me. Best combine grade at 7.4. Very good coverage, very good awareness. I mean, early first-round talent, scheduled to go late first round. Or just first round. Yeah, late. I don't think he's projected to go late. He's not going to last. I do have a pick later on in the draft But I'm not going to wait. I'm going to pull the trigger. I need a good corner. I got one right in front of me. Maybe not the fastest guy, but you look at all the other stats, he's pretty much the best in everything. I'm going to go get him. And I have a hidden dev at 78 overall. I kind of thought he would be very good. And he actually is a scheme fit. He's 78 slot and man-to-man. So there you go. He was number 2 in true talent, and I drafted him at 4. See, so there you go. He could have gone anywhere in the top 5. And I felt I had to pull that trigger. Let's take a look at his ratings. 93 speed, so that's not too bad. 79 man, 73 zone, 76 recognition, acceleration and agility. That's exactly what I want in a cornerback. They need to have the trifecta, as I call it. Speed, agility, acceleration, all need to be 90 plus for me when I play football. So, the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. Let's see where they go. These picks are actually coming in pretty quick. Actually, they took Taimani Eubanks, the other corner, the other top-rated corner. See, so I probably was a good idea that I went corner there because they might have taken my guy. He's also 78 overall, so 2 really good cornerbacks. And now the Toronto Huskies are on the clock. They take Lindell Stokes, one of the top-rated wide receivers in the draft. The Brooklyn Bulls are now on the clock. I want to thank you for joining me in the chat. Hello, hope you're having a great weekend. And where will the Bulls go? They take Clay Herman, a 68 overall wide receiver. Unless he has development traits, that was a bit of a reach. Now at pick 10, it's the Minnesota Vikings. Where do you think they're going to go? I don't know. They picked Diamond Joseph, a 64 overall right outside linebacker. Now it's the Portland Snowhawks on the board. Like I said, I will probably let the first round play out. I'll start skipping by the picks so they don't take quite as long. And they take 67 overall Kevin Caldwell, the right end. And on the clock now are the Chicago Tigers. Let's see where they go. They take number 68, or 68 overall, wide receiver Sean Davison. We'll take a look at the first round draft picks after the draft to see just what these ratings are on these players, if I can find out. And there we go. Keith Bennett, number 71 overall quarterback to the New York Giants, and now the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. I want to thank everybody. They take center Eli Neal, a 62 overall. What a reach. What a terrible pick. Unless he's like Superstar X or something like that. The Cardinals are on the clock. I want to thank all my recent followers. Within the last couple of days, I've gone from basically no followers all the way up to 35. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now on the clock as the Cardinals take wide receiver Abdul Shepard out of Oklahoma. And I've gotten quite a number of follows on Twitter. I've probably doubled my followers or more on Twitter. And the Buccaneers take a 70 overall right end, Matthew McLean, and now the Chicago Bears are on the clock. I've gotten, I think, 13 or 14 subs on my YouTube channel now, where I usually host this Madden franchise. And Chicago takes a 66 overall left tackle Jackson Hanson. And now the Voyagers are on the clock. I believe that's the Houston Voyagers. And they take left outside linebacker Clayton Graham. That was a target of mine with my next pick. And now he's gone. So I may just trade out unless I see something I really like. On the clock now for the Dublin, Ireland, Celtic Tigers. That's a mouthful. So I want to thank everybody for the following. DeMarcus Lyons, left end, 69 overall out of Florida. Goes to the Dublin, Ireland, Celtic Tigers. And now the Mexico City Conquistadors are on the clock. And they take 66 overall right end Kyrie Elam. So now I've got a choice to make. I could take a quarterback, but I'm not going to do that. I already have a first round quarterback, so starting quarterback I don't need. There's nobody else that I would even consider. I don't want to take a running back this early. Definitely not a fullback. Wide receiver, I don't have to take Mark Spellman now. I think that would be a reach. He's supposed to go mid-second, so taking him late first. I have a second-round pick I could take him with. So I don't want to go there. Tight end's gone. There's no offensive linemen that are ranked that high. Houston Madsen? Oh boy, he is good. Wow, is he good. I already have a great defensive line, though. I already have 2 great defensive linemen. It's not a position of need. These outside linebackers I already took. If I'm going best player on the board, it's Houston Madsen, and it's not even close. The problem is I don't really need him. So I could either trade away for a future pick. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I know that's not really realistic, but in real life I would have about 15 minutes to make this. Let's see what people are willing to offer for this pick. Second round pick. I would at least want a first round pick next year. They're only, you know what? I know it probably doesn't make much sense. I took a defensive tackle early last season. Wow. Well, it may seem silly, but I'm going to go ahead and just take the best player on the board according to my draft board, and I'm just going to go Houston Madsen and just figure out where to play this guy. I mean, he just looks in a 4-3. I'm going for it. 76 overall hidden depth. It didn't really surprise me that he's this good. It didn't surprise me. I mean, with those kind of ratings, 87 strength, 79 block shed, power moves, finesse moves, speed 80. I mean, look at that speed for defensive. He can definitely move to end, even if it's a 4-3 rush end. That's good enough for that. I don't care that he's huge. It's a little unrealistic, but hey, I got the best talent in the draft in that pick at that time. So now, that's the Sacramento Miners are on the clock. So I missed out on my outside linebacker, but I picked up probably the best defensive tackle in the draft, or at least one of them. So it's up to Coach Hennessy now to figure out what to do with this talent. So right after that, a 63 overall Ricky Wright is taken for left outside linebacker out of North Carolina. And on the clock again is the Brooklyn Bulls, who looks like they've traded up to take the number 23 pick. So they must have seen somebody they really like. And they took Terrell Sharp, a 64 overall right outside linebacker. So they traded up to take a 64 overall. The Salt Lake City Elks are on the clock. They go with left outside linebacker Rashawn Cobbs, a 67 overall. They go with cornerback Chris Jeffries, a 69 overall corner. That's not a bad pick for that late in the first round. Probably more of a second-round talent. On the clock now are the London Bulldogs. Woof, woof. Yeah, that was terrifying. They take right outside linebacker Jeffrey Cox, who is a 63 overall. Now on the clock, the Oklahoma City Bisons. Can you tell I am an English major? I write much better than I speak, apparently. And the Bisons go with left outside linebacker C.J. Phelps out of Syracuse, a 65 overall. So a big run on the outside linebackers. It was probably good that I was targeting Graham when I did. He went a couple picks earlier than I had anyway. And that forced me to take somebody. Wow. The New Orleans Saints, in the 28th pick of the draft, pick up a 74 overall Tim Thomas running back out of North Dakota State. Boy, they had their scouts going deep for that one, didn't they? The Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock, and they pick up Blair Hartman, a 67 overall right tackle out of Northwestern. On the clock now are the San Antonio Dreadnoughts. I believe it's San Antonio. I could be wrong on that completely. And the Dreadnoughts pick up a 70 overall corner, Brian Felder, out of Southern Miss. That's not a bad pick. And now the world champion, well, not actually, the runner-ups, our division champions, conference champions, the Columbus Explorers, are on the clock. That's right. And they pick up another good running back, a 78 overall, Juwan Costin, running back out of Iowa State, and he was even better than the previous running back taken earlier. So boy, did the Explorers pick up a good running back there. Not like they needed the help. Yes, and you know it's Fantasy World because the Washington football team won the Super Bowl. And they take quarterback Steven Rogers, a 71 overall. So now on the clock we have the Detroit Lions. And I said I'll just go ahead and skip. They take 67 overall left guard Robbie Rudd. Now the Panthers. A 73 overall running back, so fairly deep running back class. They take Angelo Preston out of Temple. Armadillos are on the clock. They take left tackle Brian Covington, a 69 overall. Now on the clock are the Crusaders, and they pick Mark Spellman, wide receiver out of Michigan. That is a man I was targeting, and they took him They took him early. He was supposed to go middle second round, not top. If I knew that, I would have probably reached and taken him. I really wanted Mark Spellman. Okay. The Egyptians are on the clock. And they take Gilbert Britt, number 67 overall middle linebacker out of Washington. The Falcons take Robert Pierce, a 69 overall halfback out of San Jose State. The San Francisco 49ers select Garrison Frost. Sorry, I couldn't read that. 66 overall running back out of Oklahoma State. The Toronto Huskies select Lewis Judge, the left end out of Oklahoma State. 65 overall. Now we're on the clock. I was going to take that wide receiver, but now I can't because he's gone. So now what do I do? I don't know. Let's see who else is here. There is a couple of running backs I could take. I don't want to take a running back this early. It just doesn't make sense. Not with who I have on the team. Not going to take a fullback here. I do need a wide receiver. Chris Bradley is still here. I have another pick lower in the draft. And there are no other good wide receivers here that I'm looking at. Looking for somebody that is at least a second round talent or better. None of these players are. Devontae Rogers, a speed rushing left end. I already have a starter there. So if I'm taking somebody in the first or second round, I want them to be a starter. Is this guy going to start at right end? I don't think he would, because now I have a defensive tackle that can take that spot. I don't want to take another D tackle. Boy, that really put me in a pickle, didn't it? I could just trade out, and I think I might just do that. I don't see anything here I'm really falling in love with. I mean, there's Wayne Judge, but he's god-awful slow. I'm just going to trade out. I don't want this pick anymore. See what we can get for him for the pick. So third, fourth, fourth, third, and third. Get a second. Was it second this year? I'd rather have picks next year. They'll give me a second pick only next year. They'll give me a second next, a fourth this, and a sixth this year. I don't really want all of that. I think I'm just going to trade straight up for a second round draft pick next year. So Atlanta takes the pick, and what are they going to do with it? They're going to take Abdul Allen, a right tackle, 71 overall. I probably could have used that, but I already have a starter at right tackle that I'm happy with, a young Sean Beatles. The Vikings take Floyd Hurst, 67 overall left tackle out of Southern Miss. The Portland Snowhawks take halfback Quentin Durant, 68 overall halfback out of Florida A&M. The Chicago Tigers take a 70 overall left tackle Conrad Marshall out of Texas. The New York Giants are on the clock. They select Nick Whitworth, a 67 overall right end out of Utah State. The Cowboys take 69 overall halfback Stanley Copeland out of Air Force. The Cardinals take 64 overall left guard Tyler Conway. The Buccaneers are on the clock. They select 67 overall left tackle Deron Tolton out of Nebraska. The Bears select Maurice Samuel, right outside linebacker out of Western Michigan, 66 overall. The Houston Voyagers select 65 overall middle linebacker Lester Blake out of Texas Tech. The Celtic Tigers take 66 overall right tackle Ross Cartwright. The Conquistadors select halfback Emmanuel Ballard out of Alabama, a 64 overall. The London Black Knights select Ron Bussey, a 71 overall right end out of Texas Tech. Nice pick there. The Sacramento Miners are on the clock. They select halfback Andrew Brady. Now, in this pick, I'm not going to make the mistake that I did before. There was a wide receiver that I know is exactly what I'm looking for with that blazing speed. 4.32 40. Best cone drill, best shuttle drill. Not very good at everything else. Might have some route running problems because we don't see those grades here. Might not have the best hands, but he's a speed demon deep threat, which I do not have and I desperately need on this team. He's supposed to go early third round. I'm going to take him right now. I'm not waiting. A 68 overall, number 43 in True Talent. I got him at number 55, so he fell to me anyway. Hidden Dev, 94 speed, 96 acceleration, 93 agility. The catching, yeah, 74 is not wonderful. Catching traffic, 75. But yeah, his route running's pretty terrible, save from deep route, and even that's not great. Not going to jump for the ball either, so he's a one-trick pony. And maybe a kick returner, too. Alright, that's what I wanted. I had a need for speed, and I got it. Armadillos are on the clock now. They get Gerald Atkinson, left guard out of Clemson, 65 overall. The Seahawks select wide receiver Rashad Harper, 65 overall, out of Nevada. The Bulldogs select Devontae Rogers, the left end, out of Temple, 68 overall. The Bisons select Kentrell Biddle, middle linebacker, out of LA Tech, 64 overall. The Saints select Landry Day, a defensive tackle out of Michigan State, 67 overall. The Philadelphia Eagles select Rashawn Austin, wide receiver out of Texas Tech, a 64 overall. The Dreadnoughts select Javon Horn, strong safety out of Boston College, 68 overall. The Explorers take Tyrone Cook, 67 overall, right guard out of Stanford. And the Washington football team select Dustin Flanagan, right guard out of Michigan State, 64 overall. All right, now I'm not going to do much of the announcements anymore as we get in the middle rounds. I'll just let them speak for themselves. Sweet, 68. 70 right tackle Hunter Yates, not a bad find there. Small, 65 overall right guard, 64 right outside linebacker, 70 overall strong safety Eric Good, not bad. Good, not bad. That wasn't even intentional, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne Judge, right outside linebacker, 68 overall. A.J. Wilkinson, 67 overall, left outside linebacker. Huskies, Brandon Kiernan, a 70 overall left guard in the 3rd round. Nice pick. Khalil Bridges, a 68 overall quarterback out of Oklahoma State. Julius Farrell, 66 overall out of Oregon. 67 Warren, defensive tackle. The 74 halfback, William Posey. He's somebody I had my eye on because of the combine was outstanding. He was supposed to be a 4th round draft pick, but he goes fairly early in the 3rd. So a great pickup there by the Dreadnoughts. They got themselves a good runner. Matt Goodman, 68 overall, left tackle. 62 overall center, not great. 67 left outside linebacker, Leach. Right outside linebacker, 67 Weston. Pete Baker, middle linebacker, 62 overall. 67 overall left tackle, Teddy Little. Joseph Burton, left tackle, 65 overall. Conquistadors, a 57 overall middle linebacker, Mario Patterson. Whoa, what a bust. Willis Campbell, 66 overall halfback. The Miners take Nicholas St. Clair, 65 overall tight end, and we're on the clock. And who am I looking at now? Who did I have targeted? Well, Posey I had actually listed, but I think it's time to start looking to bolster the offensive line. Let's see. Just looking at the talent here. I don't want to take these guys. I'm in the 3rd round. I need to see at least 3rd round talent. Didn't see any other running backs here. No other wide receivers. Really no tight ends. Left tackle, not really. Left guard, no. Center, this one was an undrafted who was undrafted. Okay, that's not great. 4th round projection, 3rd round talent. If I want them, I'm probably going to have to take them soon. And I'm just going to go with it. Jeremiah Spriggs, you're on my team. Very athletic. Not the strongest guy in the world, but we can develop strength. 67 overall, normal dev. 82 strength, so yeah, we knew that wasn't very good. Very good run blocking. 80's not bad. Pass blocking, not quite as good. But here's what I want to look at, the secondary attributes. And for guard, I'm looking at 70 plus speed, closer to 75 if possible. 75 plus acceleration and about 75 agility, so he's right about there. The reason why is because your guards have to get out in traffic and pull and lead the way at times. So I might sacrifice some strength for a guy that can move and get to the point of attack where he needs to. So the Bulldogs are on the clock now. They take quarterback Nelson Glenn, 65 overall. The Seahawks, 70 overall Felix Sander, defensive end. Jackson Ryans, 68 overall right guard. I was actually looking at Sander myself. The Seahawks follow that up with a 70 overall right tackle, Robert Walters. So they've had a great third round so far. Phil Parsons, 64 overall tight end. Corbin Black, 64 quarterback. Derek Hill, 62 quarterback. And the Seahawks have drafted again. The 65 overall halfback, Wesley Gaston. So the Seahawks just took over the entire third round and drafted everybody. And in the last pick of the third round, DeMarcus Ball, right outside linebacker for the Washington football teams. Voyagers take Conley. Panthers take Dockery. And we are on the clock. And I was looking at Posey and Sander, who were already taken. So the next guy on my draft was actually that second round rated right tackle. I'm just going to pull the trigger now. Why not? I don't want anybody to snipe him. And he is a 69 overall normal dev. 87 strength. Fairly even across the board for his blocking skills, which in a way isn't bad, but in a way isn't great because that means he doesn't stand out at any one thing. We're going to have to develop him. Speed, acceleration, agility means he could probably move inside the guard. Those would be good numbers for a tackle as well, but I like that at guard, so we might just move him to guard spot as well. The Crusaders, Eli Tuck, Joe Castillo, A.C. Tyson, Chance Sandridge, Otis Pierce, and we're on the clock again, so who do I want now? I don't really know because my options have dwindled down a little bit. Here's some of the best talent in the game. We're looking at third round talent. We're in the fourth round. Are there any fourth round players that stand out? Anybody I scouted that stands out to me? No. We're way down in talent now. As far as projected rounds anyway. Andrew Stringer is a 6th round pick with first round talent, a 7 combine, has insane physical traits. Do I really need a safety? Probably not, but this is the best guy on the board as far as I'm concerned, so I'm going to go with it. A 71 overall normal dev. Hey, his run support, I'll take it. 89 speed, I thought he'd be quicker. 91 acceleration is great. 89 speed is not so bad. Good tackling. Decent hit power. Does they give me his agility? No, not a great catcher, but most safeties aren't. Jumping. Do they have jumping on here? Nope. But still, I think a great pick at that, best player available. He was by far and away the best talent available. Might not need him, but I didn't have anything else to take with that pick. Thurman Smiley, Chance Howell, Nolan Hodges, Marquell Patrick. Now, just take a look at the overalls in this same area. I mean, there's low 60s, and I got a low 70, so by far and away, a superior talent. Rakeem Irving, Casey York, Silas Burnett, a 58. Wow. Brendan Williams, a 60. Jack Chatham, 60 overall. Nick Tripp, 60 overall. Raheem Dorsey, 60 overall. We're seeing a theme here. Kashawn Calvin, 61. So now I have to look at Chuck Brent, and now I have to make another decision here. Who do I want? Is there anybody anywhere? It might be quicker to look at the talent this way. Well, if I wanted another kicker, I could take my pick of kickers, but I'm married to Wes McGuire because of that big contract he has, so I'm not getting out of that. It would be a huge cap penalty to cut him. I don't need 2 kickers. There's nothing here. Nothing there. A couple of 5th round talent middle linebackers that were slow, so don't want them. Defensive tackle, is there anyone? Not that I don't need one, that's the thing. I'm just going to have 52 defensive tackles on my team. But clearly, that is probably the best talent here. I'll have to take a look and see if there's anybody else. Richie Stewart is not scheduled to go yet. I'll take... You never can have enough decent offensive line help. So maybe I will go with this guy right here. I definitely don't need another defensive tackle. I'm set. I'm set at D tackle. So I'll just go ahead and take this guy right here. And he is a 69 overall normal depth. So that's what I'm talking about with this offensive line cheese. You just look for amazing scouting combine numbers. As long as the numbers are in the right area, which is normally strength. And then I'm also looking secondarily at their athletic skills. Because if this guy, 90 strength, you see he's blocking. But if he's got like 50 speed, no acceleration, no agility, he's a statue and he's never going to block anybody. So he's good enough to be a tackle, 68, 78, 75. That would be tackle, or maybe center. Centers don't have to be that fast either. So there we go. The Elks take Roderick Callahan, wide receiver. Kirkland Rose to the Washington football team. Sorry, that was the Bulldogs. Bisons. Nope. Yes, the Bulldogs take Faulkner. And now the Bisons are on the clock. They take Charlie Brown. They take Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. That's my Charlie Brown impression, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it amazing? I'm such a talented guy. Alright, I'm just looking at the chat real quick. Just trying to get a layout. I really need to get a second screen. That would help me so much. Trying to look at my phone back and forth between this just isn't helping me very much at all. If anybody's saying hello to me, I'm real sorry if I've missed it. I don't see anything in the chat. So if you haven't typed anything, I'm sorry. If you have and I've missed it, I'm sorry about that too. Want to welcome you all here. Thanks for sticking out with me. The draft is getting to the later rounds. Charlie Brown was just picked. Now we got Frank Gant, 61 overall D tackle. Denard Sherman, 62 wide receiver. Cordell Love, 63 left end. Neal, 56 linebacker. Kyle Martin, 61 middle linebacker. Pat Barry, left end. And now it's Rayshawn Bacon. What's shaking, Bacon? Now I get to pick. Who do I want? I don't even know at this point. Lots of my choices have been spoiled. I'm looking at Steve Cleveland. That got a great bench press. Maybe he can be a D tackle. We'll take Steve Cleveland. Defensive line cheese. He's not the fastest guy. He's definitely a D tackle. He's not a defensive lineman in a 4-3, or defensive end, rather. He's a little too slow for that. Okay. Dreadnoughts. 58, Preston Gage. Clay Connolly. Dion Reeves. Harmon Perry. Lee Smith. Chauncey Rhodes. Joseph Tharp, Eric Trent, Marcel Harris, Patrick Homan, Denard Taylor, Benjamin Benedict, Kendall Rosemond, Marco Cunningham, Ray Kovacs, Russ Barrett, DJ Wood, Michael Pace, and now Tyrone Bonds, and now my pick. And I'm not really looking for anything. You know what? There's a fullback in the 5th round. Jeez. In the 5th round. I don't want to take a fullback. But there's really no other talent I'm looking at here. Does the offensive line, does the bench press cheese work on quarterbacks? That combine is not tremendous. Running backs, is there anybody jumping out? I mean, that's a pretty impressive. But he's there because he can jump, and he's strong. Other than that, not real good. Richie Dixon, nah, not very good. I'm looking for a strong power back anyway. This is one. A 450, not very good. I see. These scouting reports don't tell you really what you need to know. I mean, I can tell that a 28th overall and a 31st shuttle and cone are not what I'm looking for as far as acceleration and agility goes. Do I just roll the dice on a wide receiver? I wouldn't, not one with that slow speed. Wow. Tight ends are pretty much all gone. I think all the offensive line cheese that I'm looking at was gone. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any talent. Richie Stewart I'm not really interested in. I got plenty of defensive linemen. I just have to take Kent Kendall. I mean, he's still here. Why not? I'll find something to do with him. But a 68 overall normal dev. And anybody could have had him. Okay, so he doesn't have great strength for defensive tackle. Power moves. Doesn't have great speed either. But, I mean, a depth piece, developmental piece. I'll put him on the practice squad or something. Probably somebody will pick him up. Who knows? I probably don't need him, but by far and away, I mean, best player available. I think that was Kent Kendall. Connor Elam. Javante Cross. Ross George. Michael Stiles. Jazeer Foreman. Steve Ricard. JT Whitlock. Stephen Terry, or Stephon Terry. Trevor Diggs. Chris Vogel. Tyson Brazel. And now I get to make a pick. Oh boy, what am I going to do here? This is the 6th round pick. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take that fullback. I might as well. Best player available, I think. 2nd, 1st, and everything. Why not? 70 overall. Normal dev. 89 lead blocking. 81 speed. 83 acceleration. 83 strength. 79 trucking. 71 impact blocking. Can't catch. Can't catch at all. But that's not what I want him for. I just want him to lead block, and it looks like he's a lot better than Durham as far as speed goes, and that's what I needed. Crusaders take Armin Clark. Emmanuel Calhoun. Ralph Chapman. Phil Boone. Dakota Sanders. Alfonso Barrett. Dante Elliott. Martin Bauman. Nick Ainge. Calvin Turk. Carl Stiles. There's a fullback that went. Wayne Hillhouse. Alexander McOwen. Mike McGee. Parrish Howard. Walter James. Tim Fletcher. Tyson McDonald. Let's see if I can do In a World Where the Brooklyn Bulls Take a 55 Overall Halfback, Richard Raymond. That's my Don LaFontaine, who's no longer with us, but you might not know his name, but you know his voice because he basically did the voiceover introduction for every movie ever in his heyday. And it always began with, in a world, or in a world where up is down and down is up and there's a Konami code. Parrish Sapp, 57. Brian Ramos. Wendell Payne. Whoops. Cedric Gilbert. Don't want to overwrite Cedric Gilbert there. Russ Hoskins. Jameel Glass. Or Glass? Hard to see the white on white. Tevin Hairston. Paul Williams, D'Angelo McKinney. And now we're in the final round. Andrew Fields was taken, and now Kendrick Gordon, Miles McMahon, Cedric Simmons, Oliver Lewis, about to say Lewis Oliver, Jay Session, Roosevelt Robertson, Al Barrow, Chris Wynn, Lane Roberts, Aaron Klein, Blake Peterson, Robert Hogan, Carl Fisher, a 62 to find in this draft, this late in the draft. Hey, that's a good pick. 58, Keaston Gatewood, Alexander Buchanan. I can speak. Really, I can. Okay, I did have another guy on my card. It was just a blocking tight end, and that was just because he could block. Eddie Jacobs, 7th round talent in the 7th round. We're going to go for it. Eddie Jacobs. I reached. Oh boy. Apparently he was a lot lower of a pick than that. 77 speed, 66 catching, run block 52. What was I thinking? This guy can't block. Good grief. But I get to pick again. And I'm just going to throw the dartboard at a quarterback. Brock Truman. With the bench press cheese. Sure, why not? 59 overall. That was a good pick, though, because he was valued at 208. I got him at 209. Boy, did I get a steal. Holy cow. An 89 throw power, 70s accuracy, 60 awareness. Yes, you can't move all that great. Gonna fumble the ball if he gets hit. Okay, sure. Developmental guy, I guess. Shaw, Thurston, Montrell Milstead, Charles Gardner, Rowan Blackburn, Trey Jowers, Jacob Polk, Daryl Curley, Alejandro Acosta, Tracy Cotton, Rodney Matthews, Joseph Armstrong, Jacoby Braxton, Daniel Battle, and Mr. Irrelevant was somebody. They didn't show me. Let's see who we picked. We selected Marquis Wyrick, the speedy defensive back, and Houston Madsen, a defensive tackle we didn't really need. I probably should have gone with that wide receiver I was looking at in the 2nd round, but I thought he would be there. I ended up trading that pick instead. We picked up the speed demon wide receiver I was looking at. Might not have the greatest hands or jumping ability or route running, but he is a speed demon, and that's what I was looking for. We picked up offensive line help. 67 overall might not be a starter, but I need depth, more depth with Holloman. I picked up the best athletic talent that I could find at that draft pick. It was Andrew Stringer, who is a kind of speedy, strong safety. He's got strength. He can hit pretty hard, can tackle pretty well. We got more offensive line help with Hicks. We got a defensive end here with power rusher Steve Cleveland. Kendall was on the board. I didn't need him, but he was the best guy available. We picked up a fairly speedy fullback, a garbage tight end, and a practice squad quarterback at best. I'm wondering if we can take a look at the entire NFL to see that first round. Okay, so Antoine Gatewood was a 72 overall. Hidden Dev, so nice pick there. Nice speed, good hit power, acceleration's good, good play rec, good awareness, decent strength. Not very good coverage or agility. I'd like to see better agility. Jerome Jackson was the best safety, a 74 hidden dev. Not the fastest guy in the world. Pretty good coverage. Ethan Tanney, lots of hidden devs in the first round here. I'm looking at him, finesse moves. Just a balanced guy. There's Wyrick, we already know him. The other corner was taken a little bit later. There's Matthew Cohen, a hidden dev tight end. Not the best speed in the world. Decent hands. Marquise Street, a hidden dev. There was Eubanks. Tayamani Eubanks. Interesting name. He was a 78 overall, also a hidden dev. It's more of a zone guy, it looks like. Doesn't have the speed, but all the other numbers are there. Great man coverage. Well, he's not a zone coverage, is he? 68 zone, 71 press. So I got the speed guy. That's what I wanted. Lindell Stokes. Hidden dev. Everybody's hidden dev. And that's more the same. That's not why I didn't target this guy. I mean, his hands are a little better than the guy I got, but the speed is nowhere near as much. Clay Herman. Normal dev, finally. Diamond Joseph. A hidden dev, 64. So that, okay. Depending on what that hidden dev is, that might not be as much of as a reach as it looked. He's got a lot of speed. Calvin Caldwell, normal dev. Sean Davison, hidden dev. Keith Bennett, I think that's the first quarterback taken, hidden dev. Let's take a look at him. 91 throw power, not great accuracies. I mean, not bad, but for a first-round franchise quarterback, is that good enough? I don't know. Here's the reach. Eli Neal, normal dev, 62 overall center. I don't know what the Cowboys were looking at here. Abdul Shepard, hidden dev, wide receiver. More of the big physical kind of guys. Matthew McLean, normal dev, 70. Pretty fast. Jackson Hanson, normal dev. Good strength. Blocking's not that wonderful. Clayton Graham, 74 overall, hidden dev. This is the guy I was looking at. I wanted to draft him, but he went earlier than I expected. And just really good numbers overall. Power rusher, got good hit power, decent tackler, good strength, speed, strength. He's got pretty much everything you'd want. Not a coverage guy, but that's not going to be his job. Demarius Lyons, normal dev, 69. Elam, Houston Madsen, Ricky Wright, Sharp, Cobbs. Jeffries, the guy I want to look at. Well, there's Tim Thomas. A hidden dev, 74. Balanced power back, it looks like. Yep. And there was that 78 halfback. Take a look at him, too. Juwan Costin, a hidden dev, 78. Wow, they got a great pick. 91 speed, 90 acceleration, 93 agility, breaking tackle. Wow. I could have used a guy like that if I didn't have Dalton Triplett. Receiving back, so he's got great hands, too. Wow. Second quarterback taken was Steven Rogers. He's a hidden dev. Not a very strong arm and not great. See, it wasn't a great quarterback class. Even if I wanted one, I wouldn't have taken these guys, I don't think. Rudd, Preston, Covington. This is the guy I wanted. I wanted this guy not so much as a wide receiver. A hidden dev, 74 overall. Slow. 87 speed, 89, 80. Where's his agility? 87. Can jump out of the gym. Release. Route running's not tremendous. Carrying. Ball carrier vision. Break tackle. Juke move. Spin move. I might have to make a move. I'll give them whatever they want for that guy. Because I would make him a tight end. I will give them a first-round draft pick for him next year. Lewis Judge, because that's what I would have had to use to give him, to get him myself. There's really nobody else I'm interested in looking at. That was pretty much it. There's one other guy that went that I was looking to take. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a defensive end. Sanders, maybe? It doesn't really matter. There's William Posey, the guy I was looking at. Normal dev, but 74 overall. They got this guy late in the third, I think, or mid-third. 94 speed, 95 acceleration, 90 agility, 84 carry. This is a starting running back that you got in the fourth round. Now, he might not develop as quickly, but this is a 77 catching. That's a complete running back. If I needed a starting running back, I would have been happy to get him, but I already have Tyson Kerr, I already have Dalton Triplett, and then I got a power back in free agency, so I don't really need him. But I'm, best player available. Frank Sander was a guy I was looking at, and quite frankly, with all the other defensive linemen I was able to pick up, he would have been an embarrassment of riches. He's not terrible. Depth move. So that's it. That's the draft. How do you think I did? You give me a draft rating? You give me an A, a B, or whatever? I'm going to have to, normally I don't like to make a lot of trades, but I was really thinking I was going to be able to get that Spellman receiver. I had a draft pick that should have gotten it, but he went way early. Not way early, but early enough. I mean, he was early second. They were saying mid-second. I had a halfway decent second-round draft pick. I thought I could get him with it. He didn't fall to me. I might have to think about making that trade. I have a lot of talent. I'll see if they have a really bad position of need and give them like a really good player, or I'll just give them a first-round draft pick for him and then whatever else, because like I said, it would have taken, if I wanted to take him with the draft I had, instead of taking that defensive tackle in the first round, I would have had to take him then. So that was like 123, I think. So I would offer something like that back to them. Anyway, thank you for joining me for the draft. I'm going to adjust the team roster. I'm going to get this team set up for the preseason with the new offense, new defense, get everybody in their positions, and get things going. So thank you again. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Hope you all have had a great weekend. We'll see you next time here on Ben's Corner and the Madden 20 franchise. See you later, everybody. Join me next time. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be back with some old school Nintendo. Old school Nintendo, that's right. And instead of doing Baseball Stars, I'm going to take a little break from that and go with a different genre. I'm going to go with a game that should be mentioned in the same breath with maybe Dragon Warrior series and the Legend of Zelda series. It doesn't, because it's not in that medieval fantasy realm, but it is a great role-playing game. Way ahead of its time, I think. Way ahead of its time. And maybe that's why it didn't catch on. It's a hybrid action space shooter RPG. It's not always a space shooter. It's sometimes a regular RPG. It's hard to explain without giving it away. But 10 a.m. tomorrow, if I'm feeling well enough, I'm feeling up to it. It's going to be time for the Guardian Legend from the 8-bit Nintendo series. And if you've never seen this game before, please join me, because you'll be missing out. This is a great game from back in the Nintendo 8-bit era. I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words because I got so many thoughts in my head, I'm having trouble getting them out fast enough that I don't trip over my own mouth. I want to welcome the viewers again. I got 3 people here. Thank you. Looks like I might have some new developments as well. I got some more follows. Thank you, Thy Revolution, for the follow. Thank you very much for that. But I think this game, The Guardian Legend, if you've never seen it before, tune in, check it out. I'll record it and post it to YouTube. It'll be here on Twitch for 2 weeks as well. It's just a great game, and if they're looking for a game to remake now, what an amazing game they could make out of that right now. So I'm going to end it. Thank you for joining me. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, all right? And I'll have probably more Madden content tomorrow night around this same time. 8 o'clock, I think, is normally when I start. So I'll see you then, hopefully. And you enjoy yourselves. Be well.